Okay, let's look at page 12, and so now we're going to look at integrals of tangent and secant. To find the integrals of tangent and secant, you need to rewrite the integrals and then use the u substitution. So for the integral of tangent, you can rewrite it as sine of x over cosine of x, and then you're going to do u sub. And so I'm going to do the u sub of cosine of x, and that way I'll get a derivative which is going to be the sine of x, and then I have sine of x dx. So it's going to be u is equal to the cosine of x, so then du is equal to negative sine of x dx. Alright, so then if I do that substitution, I have a negative out in front, and then you have the integral of du over u, and that's going to equal negative times the natural log of absolute value of u plus c. And then I'll substitute in the u equaling cosine of x, so it's negative natural log of the absolute value of cosine of x plus c. Now most textbooks, they don't have this as the final answer, and so they do a little bit of natural log rules on this. So remember that this negative out here is really the same thing as a negative 1 power. So that's an understood negative 1 out in front. And recall that if you have a negative 1 out in front of the natural log, then that's the same thing as bringing this negative 1 up as a power of a negative 1. Okay, so then I'm going to rewrite this as the natural log of absolute value of the cosine of x raised to the negative 1 power plus c. And then I'm going to use the reciprocal identity on this. So cosine of x to the negative 1 power is the same thing as 1 over cosine. So that's the natural log of absolute value of 1 over the cosine of x plus c. And then 1 over cosine is the same thing as the secant. So you end up with the natural log of the absolute value of secant of x plus c. Okay, so that's the derivative of the tangent of x. Alright, for the next problem, the integral of the secant of x dx, you're going to do a little bit of manipulation with this, and I'm going to multiply it by a clever one, which is secant of x plus tangent of x to both the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so then I'm going to multiply that out up in the numerator, so you end up with integral secant squared x plus secant of x tangent of x, and then the denominator I have just secant of x plus tangent of x. Okay, so now I'm going to use a u sub, and the u sub is secant of x plus tangent of x. So that seems kind of like an odd u sub, but it actually works in this problem. Okay, so then you have u equals secant of x plus the tangent of x. So that's basically your denominator. And then when you take that derivative, the derivative of secant of x is secant of x tangent of x. And then the derivative of tangent of x is secant squared of x dx. And that's exactly what we have up in the numerator. So that's a very convenient u sub. So then you end up with the integral of du over u, and that is equal to the natural log of absolute value of u plus c. And then substituting in u equaling secant of x plus tangent of x, you get the natural log of absolute value of secant of x plus tangent of x plus c. Okay, so let's do some other problems with secant and tangent. So these are both very nice u subs. So for this one here, secant of 7x dx, and so I'm going to do a u sub of let u equal 7x. So du is equal to 7 dx. So 1/7 du is equal to dx. Okay, so then substituting all of that in, I end up with 1/7 integral secant of u du. And then I'm just going to use what I found right here as the natural log of secant of x plus the tangent of x plus c. And so my answer here will come out to be 1/7 natural log of absolute value of secant of 7x plus tangent of 7x plus c. Okay, for the last problem on this page, I will do a u sub of letting u equal the square root of x. So du is equal to 1 over 2 square root of x dx. And then I have 2 du is equal to 1 over square root of x dx. Okay, so then making that substitution, I have 2 times the integral of tangent of u, and then I'll just use what I have up here, that the integral of the tangent of x is the natural log of the secant, absolute value of secant of x plus c. So then my answer here will be 2 times the natural log of absolute value of secant of square root of x plus c. Okay, the bottom part of this page will go with the examples on the next page, so I'll be talking about this, the bottom portion, as I talk about page 13.